I'm gonna teach you how to get angelic vocals like this on Bandlab. I wanna go to the moon. Don't leave so soon. Don't leave so soon. How could I get through? Fun fact, when I made this exact same tutorial for FL, my video got copyright striked because I sounded too much like Don Toliver, just so you can see how legit my presets are. If you want to skip the tutorial and just download the vocal preset, you can do so right now by clicking the first link in the description or the pinned comment. But without further ado, let's get this tutorial started. So the first thing we have to mess with is the auto-tune. I just left it at the classic setting for auto-tune and I cranked it to 80. I didn't think it was as noticeable as a Travis Scott type, which is why I didn't leave it at 100. But you can definitely tell it's like a very processed, touched up vocal. 80 seemed like a perfect ballpark. Then I added a noise gate to remove any background noises when you're not singing. So I left the attack at 5 milliseconds, really quick attack, the release at 200 milliseconds, and I put the threshold at around -30. I feel like, at least for me, that was sort of the peak of the white noises volume, and that way anything underneath -30 gets cut off. Then I added a compressor. I used the BL1176 emulator compressor. All I really did was I put the input at 10 decibels, the output at 3.1. I had a quick attack of 1.2, a release of 5, and a ratio of 8:1. The EQ is very important. I dropped the low frequencies down to -17. Really wanted to scoop the lows out as much as possible. The mids we'll get to in a second, but I boosted the highs to 2 decibels. So for the mids, just like I mentioned in every fucking video at this point, I boosted the mids to about 20 decibels. Then I went to the mid sweep and started playing the song. And I went and I tried finding which frequency had the most annoying resonance. And once I found it, I went back to the mids and dropped it to about -3 decibels. Now it's time for the fun stuff, the spatial effects. So I added a D-Delay Plus. For the time, I put it at quarter beats with a feedback of 20%. For the high pass, I left it at 50 hertz. The low pass, I dropped it to 3000 hertz. Because having a lot of high frequencies get delayed over and over again creates a harshness that isn't really pleasant in the vocals. Then for the dry, I left it at 100. I put the wet at a respectable 30%. Didn't touch the volume, and I went to spread, and I put spread at basically 70%. We want the vocals to sound spacious and ambient, but not too much like other instruments in the track. And then finally, I added a studio reverb. I put the mix at 30%, the tone at 90, and the size at 30 as well. And this is a pretty respectable reverb setting for what we're doing. So this has basically been the video. Again, if you want to download the vocal preset, you can do so now by clicking the first link in the description or the pinned comment. Make sure to subscribe and turn the post notifications on right now for more tutorials like this. Comment below what other artists you want me to tackle, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.